Hi yogis, Amy Wilkes here. Today I have a gentle practice for you and we are going to focus on the low back. So just keep in mind that a lot of times when we have low back pain or discomfort, it is due to tightness or weakness in other parts of the body. The glutes, for instance, or the hamstrings. So we're just going to get started in a seated pose. And we're just going to be here for a few minutes just to breathe a little bit before we start to move. So any comfortable seated pose, you can place a block or a rolled up towel under your hips. Legs can come out long if you need to. And then just place your hands either on your thighs, you can place them on your belly, whatever is comfortable. And then go ahead and close down your eyes. And just start to tune into your breath here. Notice the rise and fall of your belly as you breathe in and as you breathe out. Good. Just continue to breathe. And then maybe with every inhale and every exhale, you can lengthen that out just a little bit. Maybe even closing the lips gently here and letting the air start to come in and out through your nose, just nice and easy. So we use a lot of different techniques when we practice yoga, a lot of breathing techniques. And they're all designed to sort of just calm the body down, calm the nervous system down, and just provide a focus for the mind. Good. So maybe 2 or 3 more rounds of breath on your own. Just try to deepen your inhales and then lengthen out your exhales. Beautiful. 2 more rounds on your own. Last breath. Beautiful. Go ahead and open your eyes slowly. And then let's make our way to hands and knees. We're just going to start out with some cows and cats. And these cows and cats are really good for flexion and extension of the spine. A really, really great way to stretch out the back. So coming into hands and knees, spread your fingers out wide. Your knees are directly under your hips. Your shoulder, elbow, and wrist are in alignment. We're starting out with a neutral spine. Reach the top of your head towards the top of your mat. The tops of your toes are pressing into the mat behind you. And then on an inhale, you're dropping the belly down. You can even bend your elbows a little bit, and your gaze goes forward for cow pose. And then as you exhale, round your back, straighten your arms, chin to chest for cat. So it's a breath in, look forward, cow pose. Exhale, round your back, squeeze your belly, cat. Good. Cow pose. We're moving slow. Try to get full range of motion of your spine. And then exhale, round your back, cat. Good. 2 more. Breathe in, look forward. Breathe out, round. Last one, cow pose. And then round your back for cat. Nice. Make your way to a neutral spine, so nice flat back. And then go ahead and tuck your toes under. Press your hips up for downward facing dog. And once you get into your down dog, we just have one. So just pedaling out the feet. spreading the fingers wide. Right, letting the head fall so that the ears are between the biceps. And just taking any movement here that feels good. So maybe that's swaying into the hips. Bending one knee a lot and pressing the opposite heel down toward your mat. And then switching sides. Good. And then find some stillness in your downward facing dog. We won't be here for long, but we're stretching out the backs of the legs. And a lot of times when we have some low back pain or discomfort, because our hamstrings are tight, so we're stretching them out here. You can always bend your knees, right? You can bend your knees as much as you need to, or you can go ahead and straighten into those legs for a deeper stretch. Good. Now on a breath in, lift up high on your tippy toes. And then as you breathe out, drop your heels down towards your mat. Don't worry if they don't touch. Okay, it's a breath in, lift up high on toes, maybe a little higher. And then just drop your heels down. Okay, one more, high on toes. Heels down. Stay here, breath in. And then as you exhale, just drop your knees down, back to tabletop. We're going to take one more cow cat. So breath in, look forward, cow. Exhale, round your back for cat. And then come into a neutral spine. From here, we're just going to lower down to our bellies for Sphinx. So whatever that looks like for you, lowering down, hips come onto the mat, forearms on the mat, elbows on the mat. Spread your fingers wide. And then legs are at hip distance behind you, toes are flat on the mat. And then your gaze is coming between your thumbs, right? So neutral spine, keep your neck long. So we're not dropping the head and we're not arching back, right? So we're not hyperextending here in through the back. So if this causes any pain or discomfort in your low back, you can even lower down. You can rest your head on your hands. Take a breath or two, and then maybe come back up into Sphinx. You can also lower down into a baby cobra, so you can press your hands underneath of your shoulders, squeeze your elbows in, and just lift up here. Right, so you come where you need to be. Never any pain here. And then we're just going to stay here in this pose. Now, you can engage your abdominal muscles here. Right? Anytime we're engaging the abs, supporting the low back. And then just start to breathe. Noticing the breath. With every exhale, maybe try to squeeze your navel back towards your spine a little bit more. Good, and then you just want, again, to keep the neck neutral. Maybe a slight tuck to the hips. All of that and engaging the abdominals is just protecting your low back. Good, let your knees get soft. We just have a couple more breaths in Sphinx. Make sure that your elbows are directly under your shoulders. Again, spreading the fingers wide and just breathe. Good, 2 more breaths. Last one, lengthen it out, breathe in. Maybe hold at the top and then slowly exhale. Go ahead and lower all the way down. Lower your chest down if you're not there already. Make a pillow out of your hands. Walk your feet out about as wide as your mat, so knees are wide. And then just bend your knees here. Rest your forehead on your hands. And let your legs sway side to side. This is just releasing any tension in the lower back. Let this be slow. Let your legs fall. The one hip will rise up off of the mat and then switching sides. Opposite hip will lift. Yeah, just a couple more of these. And then let your legs go long. Bring your hands underneath of your shoulders. Press up through tabletop. And then we're just swinging the legs around, lying on our backs. So once you get there, just lengthen your body out nice and long. Stretching out from fingertips to toes. Notice the natural curve of the low back. So your low back will lift off of the mat. And then from here, go ahead and hug your knees into your chest. Even just hugging knees into chest feels really good on the low back. And then go ahead and rock side to side, just giving your low back a little bit of love, a little massage. Yeah, and then come back to neutral. Place your hands on the fronts of your knees, and we're just going to make circles with our knees. So it doesn't matter what direction, we'll switch. So make these pretty big, right? So reaching the knees away, and then hugging the knees in. You should be hitting every little spot on your low back. 2 more circles this direction, and then we'll switch. Okay, last circle this way. Yeah, and then go ahead and stop center, and then go the opposite direction. So make this slow, hitting every little spot on your low back. You can keep your big toes together. You can separate your legs, whatever feels best. Good, 2 more circles this way. And last one, circle your knees around. And then one more time, hug them into your chest. Maybe rock side to side. All right, from here, we're just going to come into a reclined pigeon. So go ahead and place the sole of your left foot on the mat. Take your right ankle and cross it over your left knee. Now to start, just take your right hand and press your right thigh away, just gently here. And then when you're ready, clasp your hands behind your left thigh. Pull your left knee in towards your chest, and then use your right elbow to press your right knee away. And then from here, you can always add a little movement side to side. And usually when you do that, you find this tight spot. When you find that spot, just hold the stretch. Maybe close your eyes. Flex both of your feet here, protect your knees. So we're getting into the hips here, the glutes, the inner thigh. Just hold. Use your right elbow, press your knee away, especially if you need a little more here. Good, take one more big breath in. Stay as you empty. And then very slowly release the stretch. Plant both feet on the mat. Let your feet go really wide. And then just windshield wiper your knees side to side. Hands can be on your hips or your belly. You can let them fall to your sides. Good. Okay, now we have that figure four stretch, reclined pigeon on the other side. Your left ankle crosses over the right knee. To start, take your left hand, just gently press your left thigh away. And then thread your arms through, grab the back of your right leg. Hug your right knee into your chest. Use your left elbow to press your left leg away, your left knee. Same thing here. Close your eyes. Try not to hold your breath. So when we have a lot of sensation in the body when we're stretching, sometimes we hold breath. So the goal is to let the breath help deepen the stretch. And then maybe move a little bit side to side. Find that tight spot, and then we're holding here. Flex your feet. Good. One more full breath in. Breathe out. And then very slowly release that stretch. Same thing, let your feet get wide, and then just let your knees rock side to side. All right, from here, let your left leg go long. Extend it long. Let your left heel find the floor or your mat. And then hug your right knee into your chest. Take your right hand to the front of your right knee, and then left hand comes to your left hip. Just open up your right knee to the right. Yeah, and then cross it over, supine twist. Right arm reaches out long, palm down. Your gaze can be straight up to your ceiling or over to your right fingertips. This is a great stretch for the low back. So again, maybe closing eyes. With every exhale, try to twist a little bit more. Nice, we have one full breath in. Breathe out. And then roll back onto your back. Hug your right knee in one more time. Give it a good squeeze. Right leg long, left knee in. Take your left hand, open your left knee to the left. Right hand finds your right hip. And then cross your knee over, supine twist. Other side. Notice your breath. Beautiful. One more full breath in. Stay, twist a little bit deeper. And then roll back onto your back. Hug your left knee in one more time. And then before we come into a little Shavasana, let's bring the soles of the feet together. Let your knees go wide. Butterfly your legs out. Supta Baddha Konasana. Just because it feels good. So your legs or your hands can find your thighs. Your hands can rest on your belly. You're going to have one hand on your heart, one hand on your belly. Notice the natural curve of your low back. So your low back should be lifted off of the mat. Just in a very natural way. So we're not arching and pressing up. We're just noticing how the body lands on our mat. And then you're welcome to stay in Supta Baddha, or if you want to come into a quick inversion, you can bring your legs just straight up to 90, straight up to the ceiling. You can even move your mat over to a wall and let your legs rest on a wall. So by coming into an inversion, it's actually a really great way to relieve any back pain or low back pressure. And it's also a great way to boost circulation. So we're just going to stay here for a few breaths. And again, maybe closing down your eyes. Letting your hips get heavier on the mat. And then think about the back of your head resting heavy. Shoulders resting heavy. And again, your hips just getting heavier on your mat. And you are welcome to stay right here, or when you're ready, make your way very slowly into a traditional Shavasana. So letting your legs go long on your mat. Letting your knees and your toes just fall open to the sides. Hands come down at your sides, palms up. And just breathe. And just a short Shavasana today. So just soak up the peace, the quiet. And give your body this time to just breathe. You are welcome to stay in Shavasana as long as you need to. If you're ready, go ahead and stretch your body out long one more time. Point your toes, reach your arms overhead, stretching out, fingertips to toes. Low back releases off of the mat. And then very slowly make your way up to a seat. Keep your eyes heavy and soft. Bring your hands to your heart center, Anjali Mudra. Let's take a breath in together. Open your mouth, breathe it away. Thumbs come to the middle of your forehead. The light in me is grateful for the light in you. Thank you so much for practicing. Namaste.